Arizona, you're watching PHTV4, and today, special field trip here. We are at the Palos, well, talking with a member of the Palos Hills Horsemen's Association, Sue Collins, longtime member, and we're at her barn in Palos Hills, and I'm going to tell you, it is an absolutely beautiful, she's got a beautiful backyard, but then her backyard extends out to her stable here, and we want to talk about the Palos Hills Horsemen's Association and the background on it. Unique organization, been around for 55. So how about, Sue, can you tell us about yourself as a member and how you got involved in it? And then maybe we can talk about how the Horsemen's Association got started also.
Okay. I think a lot of people on the southwest side know Palos Hills from coming out here to ride horses in livery. I've talked to so many people who took multiple buses out from, say, the Midway Airport. After I first got married, I lived in Hyde Park for a little while in a co-op, and oddly enough, the guys in the co-op would drive out here every Sunday and ride livery. I was a longtime horse lover. I had taken lessons in high school and grown up wanting a horse, so I started coming out with them, and I made it clear to my first husband by the time I was 25 I would have horse property.
It sounds like you get to live the dream a little bit, to know that you wanted horses and now to actually have, like, this is your life now that you've had this. I mean, what a wonderful experience for you. How about then, so how did, because, you know, like I'm looking over your shoulder now, and I mean, there's suburban homes over there, there's streets, there's, you know, a street over there. But I know we're going to talk about Humphrey Trail, which is right over there. How did the Horsemen's Association get started in Palos Hills?
A lot of the people knew this area for the same reason. A lot of them are from the southwest side, from the city. And they boarded horses at the biggest stable around here, Green Acres, which was right across the street. Well, the city was not founded yet. And when the city started to work on founding and writing city ordinances and that kind of thing, actually Cliff Hartman suggested to some of the neighbors and the boarders there that if it's going to become a city, you get involved now in writing the ordinances and get involved with the city so you will be protected and you're here forever. So they formed in 1968, so they were in with the city, made sure they wrote reasonable horse ordinances. These houses were built by some developer who was pretty smart and attracted all these horse people. And the other smart thing he did, if you notice, they're like 100 frontage by 300 deep. They can't be subdivided, which is another reason they've existed. So the Horsemen's Association incorporated in '68, originally just to keep the horses in Palos Hills. Now since then our mission has grown and we really represent not only the whole southwest side but actually all of Cook County and Chicagoland. We are the only horse organization recognized by the Cook County Forest Preserve as a partner.
So, you know, I mean, that you've kind of brought up where I want to lead to, like, you know, the mission. What are the goals of the Horsemen's Association, and how does the association work to achieve those?
Okay. The initial mission was to keep backyard horses. So they were initially in Palos Hills. We stay politically active. We watch the ordinances. We also do a lot of PR. We know we're outnumbered, and we want to be friends with our neighbors, etc. We also do PR besides with the city of Palos Hills with all the surrounding cities. We've attended city meetings in Palos Park, all the way out in Will County. We're right in there with the Forest Preserve, because without the trails, why would you have the horses in your backyard and right here? And even with the state of Illinois, we've done work there. But our big thing is PR and to get along with the neighbors, and we've always been about nothing should be opposition. We're looking for solutions that make everybody happy.
Yeah, I was just say that, I mean, that's always a thing, how to live with your neighbors, right? Where they can enjoy their home just like you can enjoy your home, and obviously have access to the trails here that also connect you to the Forest Reserve. And maybe that kind of leads into the organization itself does a variety of events and activities, right? And I know some of the, like, you show horses or have shown horses or competed with horses. Can you talk about the events and activities the organization's involved in?
It has had so many different activities over the year. Anything you can do with a horse. We've been in parades. We've been in wagon trains. We've had endurance rides out here. We've done a lot of horse shows. We used to do a lot of hay rides and stuff like that, but we do clinics for people to learn about horses. We support all the Handicapped Riding Association and hold events for them. We have trail rides for our friends and neighbors. You know, we get together. We've done camping trips outside the area for the members. Just anything you can think of, we've done with horses. And a lot of it is, again, when you talk about solutions, a lot of the solutions are not in enforcement, they're in education. So every year we're at the Palos Hills Friendship Fest, letting our neighbors meet our horses, telling about them, what kind of horse they are, where they live, what their job is, that kind of stuff. The same thing with our neighbors here. We'll hand out flyers on the horses, how they react to fireworks, why we'd appreciate if you didn't do a lot of that. How to handle a horse in traffic. You don't ride past a horse and honk your horn and wave. They're flight animals, you know. We get so many visitors here. Horses have very delicate digestion systems, so you can't just feed them all the grass you want, you know, and treats you like. So everything is about the PR and education, a lot of the events.
You know, as I say, based on several of the activities and events that your organization does, you make it sound pretty attractive that way too. So I want to ask about maybe that's the next lead-in. What if somebody wants to join the association? I mean, let's say they don't own a horse, or both ways, they own a horse, but they want to be involved in the association some way. You know, who can join? How would they join? And then what does that mean going forward?
Anybody can join who believes in our purpose and is going to back our purpose, whether you own a horse or not. It used to be restricted, now it's not. And a lot of people do just join for social reasons. A lot of people stay in the club once they're past the riding age, or I don't think you're ever past that, but when they get older and they don't have horses. So right now the best way to contact is we have a Facebook page, Palos Hills Horsemen's Association. It'll give you contacts in the events section. It'll say what events are coming up. The dues are very reasonable, $25 per family, $15 for an individual. And a lot of people just join because they believe in it. They believe in keeping this country atmosphere in Palos Hills and Cook County. A lot of people join in the hope that someday they'll be able to buy one of these properties, which there's always a waiting list for, and they're in great demand. And other people, obviously the homeowners here, they better join and they better be active, because this isn't a happy accident. This is by plan and a lot of hard work.
I was going to say, you know, based on your history and how the association got started, a lot of hard work. Over 55 years, you're going to face some challenges along the way. And I could see the demand, right? I mean, if you want to ride a horse, and you guys have access to the Forest Reserve, it's not far from here, and you can connect to it. What a great opportunity for somebody. I want to ask about, I talked about membership, and when I drove up, I saw a really cool looking sign. The corner of your property here on the corner of the street over there, Humphrey Trail. Can you tell us what the Humphrey Trail is and how it got started, where it got its name from?
Okay. The Green Acres used to be across the street here, which was the biggest stable, and Mr. Hartman owned from that all the way to the Forest Preserve. But he was smart enough, as he sold off pieces, which he did for apartments here and gave some to the city, that he always made them put an easement in that would be for the horses forever. And at one time it was complicated, a lot of different owners, but this part always belonged to the city, so he'd get his riders out. Then when Green Acres shut down, his son called me, I was president at the time, and said, oh, your club really should buy our easement from us so they can always get to the trails. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. I think it was like $5,000. The club donated half, and it was like less than 2 weeks before the members had collected the other half, and we purchased it. Since that time, we've donated it to the city, and they've declared it a permanent easement also. So we have a trail right out my back door, all the way to the Forest Preserve, crossing no major streets. And the houses were around, even those people, we ride through their backyards. They're thrilled to have us. That's why we bought it. We want to see the horses out there.
It sounds like you have a good relationship with your neighbors. And what a cool thing. I have this trail that literally runs I'm looking at it right now, that runs parallel to your. You know, and so I also want to ask about because there's traffic over there. Every now and then we get a plane that flies overhead. Houses over there. So at one point it wasn't like that, but the suburbs have grown up around it. I mean, this seems like a really kind of a unique setup here, a unique situation. You talked about, I mean, I can't imagine there's too many horsemen's associations in suburban-like environments.
Yeah, this is the most unique place that I found in the entire country, and I've ridden all over, and I know horsemen from all over from showing. To be 20 miles from downtown Chicago and be on a small property like this and keep horses is just, it's not duplicated anywhere for a couple reasons. Our access to the trail, but also this is an affordable suburb with good schools and good access to airports. It makes it perfect for the retiree, for anybody. Most of our barn owners here are single women. I'm a teacher. My husband's a teacher. We're not talking Barrington. We're not talking the Queen of England. We're talking normal middle-class people who can afford to have their pets in their backyard. And while I can't give you exact figures, but this is an affordable hobby in your backyard. I think last time I figured it out, you could feed a horse and shavings, I'm not counting medical because that always changes, for about $150 a month. Women spend that on their nails. Guys spend that on golfing. So it makes it an affordable family hobby. And we're so pleased that we've gotten 2 new families in the organization that bought horse property lately. So I do feel there'll be somebody to carry on.
No, it is great, and I hope that's the case. And I also need to ask real quick, we've got a celebrity behind us here, and there's one over there, and I think one just went into the stable back there. What kind of horses do you have? What are their names?
I own Arabian horses. That's my preference. Many people around here own quarter horses or other breeds. And this horse behind me is named Hawk. He actually was Midnight Hawk because he was born at the stroke of midnight, and he was born in this barn in Palos Hills. There are still horses being born in Palos Hills, at Palos Hill Stables, and I've had a few born in my backyard here since I've been here. So he's very special, a native son of Palos Hills. This black one over in the background, she's coming in and out, is my youngest horse right now, which is 10 years old, and she's a purebred Arabian, and she shows. And I want to emphasize this too. My horses show, but they go camping, they go on trail, they do everything. She's shown as far as Scottsdale. We've camped with our horses as far as Custer State Park.
Wow. Yeah. What's her name?
This is Leah.
Leah?
And
then Midnight Hawk's mother is running around, right?
Yes. Sam has stepped for her privacy into the barn here, and she's 27 years old now. My oldest horse, however, lived to 37, and she's a purebred Arabian, and her father was actually owned by Wayne Newton, who not everybody would remember him, but he owned and imported her father from Spain.
Wow. I'd say it's quite a pedigree of horses you have here, into your stable here. I'm going to I want to ask you about this. So you've been involved in this organization for a long time. Can you give us maybe a couple of your best memories or favorite moments of being involved in the Horsemen's Association?
Oh, it would be so hard to narrow it down to that. Some of our best things that we did is we cooperated with the Cook County Forest Preserve, and then because of our work, they gave us our first horse-only preserve. The city taking the trail was a big deal. Little things like that. But, I mean, there's actually all the fun stuff is probably more memorable, and some of that is rated X. We can't talk about it. But
I hope not X. R, maybe PG-13.
R, yeah. But we've had so many events. We've had, one of the favorite events that we haven't had is we used to have a 3-day marathon over Labor Day, where we would do a long ride, and then we would come here at night, actually in this corral, and we would do horse tricks like twirling a rope, or they roped a stuffed cow and that kind of thing. And then on Sunday we would have a poker ride, and we'd give a belt buckle. It was like the Survivor Series of riding. So that was one of the, we don't do that anymore, but that was a great event.
I would say some competitive things. So it sounds like it's a very social organization. I know people talk about horseback riding like going for a ride on the trail or going for a ride wherever, but it has that social opportunity for people as well. Sue, thank you very much. It sounds like a wonderful organization. I hope, it sounds like you've set up a legacy here that I hope survives in Palos Hills for quite a time to come. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Dave Wurzel, and you've been watching PHTV4, and we've been talking with Sue Collins, a member of the Palos Hills Horsemen's Association. And I'm going to strongly encourage you to check out the organization, check them out on Facebook, and consider becoming a member. Thank you for watching.